Good afternoon, it's Emma Davis from veterinarycareers.com.au and it's my absolute pleasure today to introduce you to John Bonnici. Welcome, John.
Hello, thank you for having me, Emma.
Oh, my pleasure. John's a fourth year vet student from the University of Queensland and he's quite an entrepreneurial soul and quite an amazing guy, and he has come into my world, or I've gotten to know about him from some of the initiatives he's been working on with veterinary wellness. So would you like to tell me about those, or tell everyone about those, John? The
Yeah,
initiatives,
sure.
projects you're working on?
Yeah, no problem. So the two projects I've got on at the moment to help improve wellness within the veterinary industry are the Peer Support Network, which is run by, well, through the University of Queensland Veterinary School. And I serve there as a mentor to help other students. And the other aspect is through a little project called Yogitation, which I also run with one of my colleagues.
Oh, break it down for us. What do you do in Yogitation? That sounds amazing.
Sure. So Yogitation is something that we offer to all the students and to the staff on campus. We just say we block out 1 hour each week, and whoever would like to come to do some intention work, mindfulness, breath work, some yoga, and even meditation at the very end, then they'd be more than welcome to come along. So it's just another way to go and recharge before conquering the rest of the week.
That's amazing. I wish I had that at vet school. That sounds amazing. Are you actually running that yourself, or is that something you're just participating in, or where did this concept come from? That sounds great.
Yeah, so the concept actually came from doing the peer support network training this year. So the very first session, there was one of my colleagues, her name is Divya, and we just got along straight away. She's in second year, I'm in fourth year, and we just started to talk about the different wellness elements that we were just practicing within ourselves, and how it would be amazing to go and offer something like that to the veterinary industry. And that's where the whole concept of, hey, why don't we go and work together and start Yogitation? And 4 weeks later, that's what we did.
Oh, that's amazing. And how many people are coming along? Like, is it for just your year or the school? Or yeah, tell me more. It sounds great.
Yes. So basically, we have it open to all staff and all students. It's started off with one person attending, but within a couple of weeks, we had a bigger growing, and now there's up to 15 people attending each week. Yeah, so it's amazing to go and see people from different cohorts attend Yogitation each week. Some are regulars, some just come by whenever they can. Of course, within the veterinary degree, there will be assessments along the way, so we just go out and cater for whoever turns up. So we're here, so when you're ready, yeah, come by.
Oh, that's amazing. Well done. I'm so excited. Good on you. I love these entrepreneurial vets that are coming through. This is fantastic. So, and tell me more about the mentor network. So, because I think that was where I came across you and the work that you were doing. Was there is a story written up around the mentor network, and that's a UQ project, is it, or what's that about, and what does it look like in practice?
Yeah, so basically the whole concept is, well, it was an initiative put together through the University of Queensland Veterinary School with the intention to go and just be there for others. So it's about training current students to go and help mentor other students doing the program. So it's all about holding space for someone else, listening to them, and being able to ask the appropriate questions so then they can go and find out the right answers for them. And if need be, to then point them in the right direction so they can go and take the appropriate action required.
That's amazing. So did you get trained in that? Is that do you go through a training course for that, or does everyone have to do it, or like, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, so the way how it was run was in semester 1, we had a weekly meetup where we had training through one of the counsellors on campus, and through that we explored different topics, and it went for about 10 weeks in total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and quite a few different exercises along the way. And amazingly, you just learn a bit about yourself in the process of that while trying to go and listen to someone else. Yeah.
And it's not mandatory, like you've selected to do that, or like does everyone have to do it, or do just some people who are interested become mentors, or what's the choosing?
So basically, at the end of every year, there's an email that gets sent out to all the students, and basically whoever's interested in applying, they just fill out a questionnaire and express their interest. And through that, I happen to express my interest in it. And I thought this would be a fantastic way to go and offer someone else the tools that I've acquired in life in order so they can better handle stress.
Oh, good on
So,
you.
yeah.
That's amazing. Well done. I love loving all this wellness stuff. This is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
I remember vet school as very stressful, so I'm really glad these options are there. That's fantastic. I'm 2001 myself, and you'll be 2020. That's awesome. That's going to be
great. Oh, only a year away now.
So John, like you're quite the leader in this space, and I love that about you. And what's been your career path to date that you like might have brought out this leadership in you? Is there something like what's been the major points of your career path? Because you did a bit of study before vet, didn't you?
Correct.
Tell us more about that leads you to both being entrepreneurial and a leader in this wellness space.
Yeah, so my story, or should I say my awakening to it all, was basically brought about because I reached a point in my studies that I experienced burnt out. And through all that, I realized my mind wasn't entirely in the degree. As such, I needed to take some time out for myself and reassess things so I can fully be present in my studies and in turn become the best veterinarian that I can be. So through that, there was a lot of self-discovery, a lot of exploration of my own well-being, and that branched off into the realms of spirituality. And I began to explore my own work a few years ago, and I had that gap year. And that's when I realized that I still want to become a vet, and that it would be amazing to go and offer all these tools that I've acquired to others and in turn help them to better manage stress in their life. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you know that you're at a point of burnout? Like you're kind of comfortable with that now. What were the indicators for you? Like if someone's in vet school and they're not sure if they're coping or they're not coping, do you remember what the indicators were for you that later, or at the time that you actually said something has to change?
Yeah, so there were quite a few clinical signs that presented.
Don't have to go to clinical science and not vet, but yeah, I guess that might be too personal. But if there's anything like, could you recognize those signs in someone else? Do you think?
Yeah, I can recognize.
What would you recognize? Yeah.
A lot of the negative self-talk, lack of self-care, especially when it comes to just basic things. Showing up to classes, being able to go and hold themselves with posture and the whole pride, the confidence, versus actually speaking up and saying, hey, I'm not too sure about something. So when you happen to just be silent, already you can pick up and either you're very introverted or flip side, you're having something else go on. I'm not too sure what it is. And there are all these subtle, noticeable traits that you pick up.
So it'd be really good if you kind of knew their norm and you saw a change in that norm. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Energy levels, going from a vibrant person to all of a sudden withdrawn, from laughing and smiling to all of a sudden sad face. Being able to just witness someone cry out of the blue and don't know exactly what's going on. It may just be early stages of burnout,
Mm.
but it could just be their way of managing stress.
Yeah,
So,
being
fine
crying.
line. Yeah.
Crying's good. I think crying is good, but yeah, it's better to not do it spontaneously, maybe.
Yes.
So now that you've had that, when you had that like self-development journey, when did you know it was time to come back, and what tools have you brought forward to manage life differently, or manage your energy differently? Like we talked a lot about your energy and that self-awareness. So what are some of the things you do?
Yeah, so to answer the first part of your question, I knew after the year, I think it was about November of that gap year, I definitely wanted to come back to vet school. I'm still wanting to be involved with animals. I still have my love and have my passion towards animals. And that's when I made the choice, yes, I'm definitely coming back next year. And it's going to be a very different approach. Yeah. As for the tools that I've brought along, a lot of it sounds very basic, but it all comes down to how can I best look after and love myself, and be a matter of going to create a beautiful meal, or having designated times for you to go to bed.
I totally agree. This is the journey I'm on as well. Yeah,
or it's everyone, because we all have those moments, especially when we experience high levels of stress, that we just slip out of our normal routine, and that's actually the time when we really need to be more disciplined, stronger, and really aim into that. But of course, natural instinct, the flight and fear response is to go and be like, too much for me, let's take an easier route. Yeah.
Oh, good on you. Yeah, I was amazed. Like, I've done this whole self-development journey as well. And you read the books about excellence and performance, and it's do the basics well, and do the basics with discipline and repetition. And you think that excellence is, doing really hard stuff, but it's doing the basics really well and sticking to it. So yeah, there's a lot in that, isn't there? That it's looking after yourself is the first point to succeeding and being happy in performance as well. So
of course, because if you don't look after yourself, then who's going to look after you?
I know. I knew. So is that part of your messaging in the student groups as well? Like, is that with your yogitation? Is that what you're teaching people?
Yeah, so the best way to explain it is, imagine you've got a teacup, and all you're trying to do is fill up that teacup. It reaches to a point that the teacup begins to overflow and fall into the saucer and even onto the table. So the whole purpose of me as a mentor for Peer Support Network, as well as running the yogitation, is to teach others the tools so they can go and fill up their own teacup, so they can take that to our life.
So then the overflow can be for others. Is that
Correct. So then you can give from everything that's overflowing while still having yourself looked after, cared
for. That's a
for.
good analogy. I like it. That's really good. Yeah. I like it. Very good. You're teaching me stuff. It's great. And I love your energy in the room. Like, since speaking with you this hour, we've been chatting, I just feel like my energy has calmed and is, I just have this beautiful, feel like I'm protected by the soft yellow energy around me, which is beautiful. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, John. You're having an amazing impact on people. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. That's what's about. Just helping others, because like I said, once you learn to help yourself, then you can in turn help others effortlessly.
Good on you. And what a great vet you're going to be in that space to heal animals and have that impact on the people as well. And so we were talking before about that you've got some work outside of vet, and you're a solution specialist in a health club. Is that right? The health club.
Yes.
And that so what business skills are you, where's the crossover between the role as a solution specialist and vet, and then how are you going to, or what are you going to use from that moving forward?
Okay. So basically in that role, it's all about being able to identify problems and be through the means of asking the appropriate questions and really answering whatever it is that they need with confidence as well as poise, and using the appropriate language so then they can best understand and in turn be able to acquire the result that they ask for. Because we've all got those problems. It's just a matter of how do you go and break it down and be like, well, if this is what's occurring, how can we go and fix it short term as well as long term? So within all of that, it's a matter of then being able to recognize what it is that other people need and being able to provide a solution for it, which is what we as vets already do. Ask the whole history questions. And then being able to dive a bit deeper and say this is what we can do short term as well as long term in order to get the animal back to health. And in the real world, we have the animal as well as a client. So we need to go and best negotiate with the client. And it's all a matter of them being able to provide the means to go and acquire the solutions so the animal can live a more prosperous life. That's all.
So, it's a lot of similarities. That's really good. So you can use that like directly. It's like training for consults, really, like solving people's solutions, finding solutions to their problems. That's awesome. And have you got a business drive as well? Like you're quite entrepreneurial. Do you see yourself going into business in the future as well?
Yeah, I do. There's a couple of different elements that I'm wanting to go and take my degree once I graduate. Some happen to be within the role of being a veterinarian, and one in particular is to go and create a wellness center whereby people can come together, especially veterinarians, and then learn those tools so they can best look after themselves.
Oh, good. You can have a coach there. That's amazing. I can come up or I can receive that and then we can work. That sounds amazing.
We can co-create.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. What a great idea. Good on you. That's going to go really well. And you're going to, I can see that taking right off. So good on you. That's exciting. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think we're drawing to a close. So did you have any final messages for your peers and your veterinary profession? And
basically just make sure that you keep filling up that teacup. Compassion fatigue's a real thing, and stress can go and drive us to excellence, but there's a point where it can actually be very damaging. So it's all about being mindful and being able to check in with yourself every now and then and ask you what it is that you need so you can go and give yourself that while still having that healthy boundary to separate you from the job, because without you, there's really no you to go to the job.
And that's good.
And as we all feel, like being a veterinarian is more than just a job, it's being in service. So the best way to be in service is to be in service to yourself and allow that to overflow.
That's great. Good on you. That's exciting. Well, I'm so excited for the future of our profession, because I'm just, as a fourth year student, that's beautiful that you've already given so much to our profession and that you've got these amazing plans. So thank you on behalf of everyone that you're impacting, and I look forward to staying in touch. We're going to put up your email address, is that right, so that people can find you? They want to find out more about the initiatives. And and we'll have a little blog go out with John's interview as well. So if you want to find him, let us know.
Yeah, by all means, if anyone out there has any questions about how best to look after themselves or anything like that, by all means, I'm here. It's good just to go and have someone to go and offer that sort of support. So it's important.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. That's been amazing. It's a pleasure to spend time with you, share space with you. It's amazing. And I feel better for it. So I'm sure that all your friends and colleagues would as well. So thank you so much. And we will sign off now. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Bye, everyone.
See you later.